I will start off this segment by saying that the reason why the random outdoor scene occurs at the beginning of this segment is that I was trying to go to a state park in Arkansas to see what was called Arkansas's Grand Canyon, but the directions I was given did not prove effective. I ended up on a lot of dirt roads that just kind of ended nowhere, either in fields or against concrete barriers. I saw a lot of cows, but I didn't see the Grand Canyon of Colorado. I did go to a lesser canyon though, but kind of at the wrong time of year. The trees kind of blocked the view of it. It just sort of looks like a regular forest walk. Not much of interest happened, and I believe I say something to that effect in the video, but that just explains why this part will begin with that.
Greetings and welcome to the next installment of the Preserve the 80s Arkansas/Oklahoma/Missouri tour. I'm a village inn right now, which I refer to as Denny's on steroids, because you get more food, and it's better, and sometimes you get a free slice of pie just for showing up. I cite as an example this lemon meringue pie right here. Oh, wait, no. Here we go. And since the phone can't flip, I'm gonna have to try to just hold things up. Got the 2x2x2 breakfast, some pancakes. Kind of went light on this one, since my stomach's not in the greatest condition, but didn't want to leave without a Village Inn video. Let me just try to see if I can. Hopefully you can see this a bit better. Got the Texas toast, some eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes, and of course, lemon meringue pie. I wish my phone could kind of like change angles while filming, but it cannot. But otherwise, this would have been an easier video to shoot. But I will see you next at Tacos for Life. Farewell. Well, as promised, here we are at Tacos for Life. It's a taco restaurant, small chain in Arkansas. Apparently they donate some food to starving people in disadvantaged countries every time you make an order, so that's kind of a nice benefit to buying food here. I just got 3 of the classic tacos along with some guacamole dip and an orange soda. Oh, I guess they gave me some free nachos too. Free corn chips. It's still warm, so I believe those are freshly made. Here we have one of the tacos. It's just a standard beef taco. It has the ground meat, lettuce, and what appears to be pico de gallo. Quality taco, very good shell. It's somewhere between like a taco shell and chalupa shell. I don't know if you're familiar with the chalupa at Taco Bell, but sort of like a thin chalupa is how I would describe it. Toppings are fresh, quite good. The meat is okay. No complaints. Generous portion of guacamole. I got this for free as well as the nachos, so I'm pretty happy about that. Again, very good. Really have no complaints about this particular restaurant. I would encourage you to sample Tacos for Life if you're going to find yourself in the Northwest Arkansas area. But don't leave the windows of your car open if it's windy, because your nachos will fall like mine just did. I can't really see down there well enough to tell if they fell out of the bag or not. I'm hoping they didn't. And if they did, that's an awful waste of nachos. But sometimes that happens. Nachos get wasted. And that's the lesson for today. Farewell. Well, this is the last night in Arkansas. There are some things that I wanted to include in the videos that either I didn't have the camera ready for, or there just wasn't time. One of those things was a store, this rather strange discount store that I happened to enter called Cheapo Depo in Oklahoma. Everybody in there, aside from me and one other customer, seemed to be 85 or older. The one other customer didn't seem to realize that her shorts were completely split in two. None of the other customers seemed to notice that either. I was getting ready to leave the store because they didn't really have much of anything that I wanted, and it sort of seemed like a place where somebody just randomly collected stuff off the street and put it on the shelves. There were bulk 50-pound boxes of corn dogs being sold next to dresses, and on the other side of that, there were tools, and then go over a few more feet, and you'd find a lot of hats with the number 66 on them, even though this particular part of Oklahoma wasn't that close to Route 66. So it was a rather odd store. I was getting ready to leave, and an old guy working the register seemed very forlorn. He looked at me and said, "Well, didn't you like my store? Why aren't you going to buy anything?" So I felt pretty guilty then, so I decided maybe I would just grab a couple things that were next to me at the time, so I ended up getting this can of expired Stokely's pumpkin pie filling. Probably isn't that healthy to eat now, but in its prime, it may have been. It did offer 280% of the recommended value of vitamin A per day, so that's something. 4% calcium, 4% iron, 8% vitamin C, 12% dietary fiber, so in its younger days, this, I guess, had some stuff going for it health-wise. It also gives you a recipe for Stokely's pumpkin pie in the back. Maybe you want to try this at home. You will need 1 can of Stokely's pumpkin, 1 can of evaporated milk. Leave the milk out, you don't really need that, you can use water. 2 eggs, slightly beaten, 3/4 cup brown sugar, 1 teaspoon flour, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger, 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves, and 1 9-inch unbaked homemade pie shell, or 1 commercially frozen deep dish pie shell. Preheat your oven to 450 degrees. Thoroughly blend all ingredients and pour into an unbaked pie shell. Bake for 20 minutes. Reduce temperature to 350 and bake 35 minutes longer, or until knife inserted comes out clean. Cool completely on rack, then enjoy. Stokely's pumpkin pie. I also got this metal number 8. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, because my house doesn't have any 8s in the street address, but nonetheless I am 1/8 richer. There is also well, I was just going to get those 2 things, but there's a $5 credit card minimum. So in a haste, I grabbed a circular saw
accessory that happened to be $4.97, and that brought my total up to over $5. And then I was able to leave. So that's what happened at Cheapo Depot. I also found a kind of weird grocery store, sort of nestled into a hill in southwestern Missouri, right around the border of between Oklahoma and Arkansas. And since I didn't know if there would be a quarantine or not, I got this Okie Dokie brand popcorn, or Okie Doke, I guess. I don't see an I, so it's Okie Doke popcorn. Not too bad. And these Always Save brand saltines. And coffee cakes are kind of the go-to hostess snack. So that is a segment that I wanted to film but didn't, because I wasn't really sure how people would react to a camera presence in those locations. I also couldn't get Daylight Donuts, which was a place I referenced in some of the other parts of this video. I haven't actually spliced all the videos together yet, so it might be in a different video where I reference that. But I did get to a different donut shop called Cronut Donuts. The person working the register was kind of rude, and the donuts didn't look especially great. There wasn't a whole lot of value. Not a whole lot. Or I should say variety. I don't know if I said not a whole lot of value, but I meant to say not a lot of variety. Mostly just glazed donuts and a few with like different types of frosting on them. There's a couple crullers, but I guess they call them Long Johns here. And there's a raspberry filled one, some with coconut on them. Guess I'll try this very cakey donut. It's not like the donuts that you usually find in most bakeries anymore. Tastes almost like there's alcohol in that. I don't mean ethyl alcohol. I mean isopropyl alcohol. Not pleasant. This glazed donut feels a little lighter. Different composition, maybe it'll taste a bit better. Well, I can say this. Somebody at Cronut's Donuts was using hand sanitizer. Donuts may not taste good, and it may not be safe to eat, but at least they're clean. Well, that's about all there is to say for now. So this concludes the Ozark special of Preserve the 80s. I thank you for having the patience to sit through it.